Hey guys, it's David. Welcome to the Scar Thumb Podcast. Today, we'll be talking about censorship, Stellar Blade, Black Man. Hey, how's it going, Jack? Black Man's boycotted, and Tarkov makes its entire community mad. Let me see if I can turn myself up again. Last week, my audio was too low or too high, and now it's way too low. It's just amazing how it changes week to week. So let's get right into it. There was a Stellar Blade is finally out after all the controversy, and now there's a day one patch, and people were quickly to point out this graffiti that we have on screen, where this sort of hard sticker appears multiple times in game. Usually, it'll create assets and sort of fill. You want to fill the wall with something to kind of change it up, break up that boring wall in areas. Give it a little more sort of like it's a lived-in feel. Make it seem more vibrant. It is a post-apocalyptic setting, so they have hard right here. But unfortunately, there's this R shop that is right next to it. This is a Korean game, so they may not have caught what the implication could be. And honestly, I think it's kind of funny, the fact that they didn't. So this ended up being hard R. And if you're not really, you could actually walk past this and not think anything of it, because they're two clearly different signs. But this implicating something, some sort of a slur, if you're not familiar with what the hard R means. I'm not going to say it online, obviously. I'd get banned for it, but let's head over to IGN. Sony says Stellar Blade art referencing racist language was unintentional, will be patched out. The art will be removed in a day one patch. And of course, it was replaced with a thing that says crime, so it's now the crime R shop. But many people mostly just found it funny. It's kind of a funny clash of cultures sort of thing. Like, where most people and non-English speaking people would never have noticed this, but of course, American in its hypersensitivity does. And some people were kind of disappointed that the hard R shop was removed. It's not a big deal, but there was other things afoot that were a big deal. Of course, here's Jake Steinberg, being a little bit cheeky. Says literally some kind of group that you could contract to give a sensitivity read and avoid creating work like this for yourself in the future. Oh, I guess it's Sweet Baby, referencing Sweet Baby here. If only they hired Sweet Baby. Yeah, it definitely would be better. But then, of course, this pointing out the hard R graphic. And then there was a little bit of controversy. The reviews came in, too. So let's see how journalists reacted. Some people were upset at this IGN review, as IGN gave it a 7. Let's see, I think they have their rating further down. 7, good. And people are like, 7's good, guys. Some people not really convinced that 7 is in fact a good rating. Usually with IGN and a lot of games, 6 is like the lowest you'll ever see anything rated most of the time. Unless it's like completely unusable garbage. This game is seemingly well made, so 7 seems a little bit low on the sort of IGN really puffed up scale. It's kind of like the HB scale, where you don't rate anyone under a 4. That's just being mean. With IGN, game reviews usually seem 6 and above is the rating. So 7 does seem fairly low. The verdict, and he kind of sums it up, stands out as gorgeous, well-crafted action game, very impressive strengths and clear weaknesses. Both its story and its character lack substance. Some of the RPG elements are poorly implemented. Dull side quest. You like almost everyone has been praising the sort of action that Stellar Blade brings, which is bodes well for people. I think the main thing you'll notice in any of the reviews, like this one doesn't seem particularly mean. Just reading, I'm not going to read the whole thing, and doesn't particularly uh, deduct points based on the way Eve looks, but also doesn't add any points on the way Eve looks as well. So they can't. I don't think any reviewer is free to say that, hey, it having a sexy girl in it makes it better, which it clearly does, but you cannot get away with saying that if you're a journalist. So there was a little controversy over the fact that, yeah, 7 is good. But is it? Is it really? This this next piece is totally unhinged. I'm going to share it with you. It's by Austin Woods. Here's how Austin Wood looks. That way you know the person behind the writing. Stellar Blade puts even some incredibly stupid, sexy outfits that hurt the game's story. But despite the forced sex appeal, I actually love her detailed designs. This is an opinion piece. Sex appeal doesn't have to be a random bikini. Should I read this whole thing? It's kind of funny. Let's see. All right, we gotta get through this a little bit. So he's talking about the pre-release. Let's see. Let me start down here. Some people especially want Stellar Blade to be a gallery of shiny heinies. Ugh, this writing. While others have are put off by the bizarre masculine chest beating over Eve's design, have dismissed her senselessness towards backward titillation. Having played the whole game, I quite enjoyed it, both despite and sometimes because of Eve's design. I think most extreme miss what's good and bad here. It's fine to make a character sexy for the sake of sexiness, and it's fine to like Stellar Blade regarding its whole debate. I like it. People like to see it and create attractive characters. It'd be a shame to reduce Stellar Blade's visual identity to the ass game because of some environment really flexed here. And just wait for it. This is paragraphs where it gets pretty good. I don't just want to both sides this into mush. There's been a lot of deserved talk about the male gaze, and the part it played in how Eve looks. As someone with a lot of experience unlearning that same male gaze, this is where you know it's going off the rails. I have an editor's scaring amount of thoughts on how Stellar Blade fails Eve, why I actually like her core design, and why I expect plenty of people to feel a similarly neutral way once everyone actually plays the game. To explain all this, I'm forced to once again break out my greatest superpower, asexuality. Asexuality is his superpower here. There's nothing quite like people that claim they're asexual lecturing you about sexuality. It's like a transgender person lecturing about what's acceptable sexuality. This article is is not okay. This is actually funny. This article is not about me. And then please note how much he uses the word I. It's not about me, but I should explain where I'm coming from. For me, the romantic and asexual attraction are not foreign, but utterly undesirable. So he's not sexual at all. So they're more than your average person. Games like Set bark up the wrong tree when they assume that I, as a man, am eager to can fantasize. Oh my! I can't with this guy. She's hot. No, she's not hot to you. You're just literally saying that you're a man. He's a man that isn't attracted to women or isn't attracted to anybody. He's so ashamed of his own sexuality, which I don't believe men are asexual. I believe he's clearly has some issues with his own sexuality. He's either gay or he's straight, but he's so ashamed of himself that he's decided that he's not going to try. He's like a MGTOW type of thing where it's like, women, I've totally gotten rid of women because I just can't handle it. But this guy is going to go on to talk to you about The problem with Eve is that I'm not going to go in this whole article, but the problem with Eve is that her stuff doesn't make sense. Why is she wearing this crazy looking bikini when there are much more sensible stuff? If this it gets into the same like uh, bikini armor style argument. Like, why is she dressed like that? That's unrealistic. No shit. This entire game's about sex appeal. It's not supposed to make sense. What do you think the selling point of this game was? But Austin, of course. Poor Austin clearly has some issues that he needs to work through. And hopefully he does. Hopefully he does relearn his male gaze and gets laid. But this is the big thing in Stellar Blade that happened over the week that really set people off. So let me set the stage here for you. Stellar Blade here. Uncensored in all countries. This is the official account. Offers the same uncensored versions in all countries, including the Japanese version. So, uncensored, guys. It's uncensored. But, big but coming up. Uh-oh. This is from Wadapacha. Sorry, my English is not good. I want to say, this new bunny for New Game Plus, it's censored too. Sorry, guys. This is cruel reality. I like Stellar Blade so much, but now I feel betrayed. And this is the bunny outfit. Lace over it. Look at the sides. It's been covered up. In the back, actually, I don't know what any censorship in the back, but there was original rumors started coming out immediately of censorship in the patch. This is Grum's. What happened here? Here we go. This is Grum's. The director himself addressed it and confirmed it. It was censored. This is him arguing with people, but let's move this over. But you can see right here. If you look at the top, you have the full cleavage on display. On the right, covered up with a little bit of cloth here, and then Holiday Rabbit. You can see by the legs and the hip, and up at top, cleavage covered up, and looks like there's some additional. They didn't even change the actual bikini. They just added a little bit of black cloth right there too. Clearly, some censorship going on, and it was acknowledged by Shift Up. This is from Niche Gamer by Brandon Lytle. Yesterday, fans came forward surprised to see different versions of the Holiday Rabbit costume in Stellar Blade. As a result, accusations of misinformation overtook the discourse. The first signs of Stellar Blade appeared online when users who received physical editions of the game noticed the Holiday Rabbit was different after the game was patched. This was later thought to be a possible hoax after footage of the Day 1 patch showed the censored outfit. What appears to be the case is reviewers who received a digital copy of the game were actually playing the 1.01 patch as opposed to the game as it was shipped. A transitional patch between the original game and the Day 1 1.2 patch appears to be what had been sent appears to have been what censored the outfits. The information about the uncensored outfit came from individuals who received physical editions early and played the game unpatched, which at the time it was difficult to verify. In the hours since Stellar Blade became a bit more, users have been speaking up about the censorship, have been uploading videos of the uncensored outfit. There are footage of the director allegedly acknowledged the censorship in the latest patch of the game, which he gives a canned response claiming the censored version is the intended version. But in my opinion, it seems like a very Sony response. There's also something about the level of gore, which some people, I don't have confirmation. Some people said it's based on the performance mode versus the high quality mode. It kind of changes the amount of sort of blood, stains that show up in the game. But I'm mostly just focusing on the censorship of the actual character. That seems to be what people have. And this is from Stellar Blade Reddit. Director answer to the change in the outfit video. Says, is there anything of rolling back the version before censorship? This is him talking. I also want to ask whether you recognize the issue regarding this. He's being asked right now. Understandably, and this is where he says, understandably, we are also recognized about this issue. This is rough translation. However, the final costume is what we wanted to show you. Is indeed the costume in version 1.0012. So this is a lot of people, a lot of detractors are saying this is. See, you just confirmed it. This isn't censorship. He's saying that this is what the director wanted to show you. You should respect. This is our final product. However, I know this answer is not enough to convince our users. Of course, there is an internal discussion ongoing regarding this. So I think we'll have a chance to answer it soon. So this is what he said. And like I said, people are you got to respect the dev's vision because he said this. But we'll get to that later. Some people had this is Grums. He came up with an 8-step plan. I'm not 100% sure that this is going to work. Some people are just upset. You know, he's like, reach out to the creator. They want to try and get it uncensored. Many people are not happy about the censorship because set uncensored in all countries, the game itself kind of advertised itself as, you know, sort of unbridled sexuality here with Eve and everything it shows off. Talking about contacting it. This step 3 is I'm search banned on Twitter. This is always the thing that kind of gets me about Grums is step 3. It just involves himself. It's got nothing to do with it. Help give me X and support to reverse it. And there's always like some weird stuff that always like benefits him in it, which kind of I'm kind of on the fence about Grums. Serves with that. It's used, but what he's doing right now is useful. They have like a petition, contact Sony. A lot of people are saying, you know, what, which I think is probably the smartest idea. Like, don't buy digital, get the physical edition right now. Cancel, you know, any sort of like PlayStation Plus. Just essentially attack Sony. If you don't buy digital, Sony's not getting their extra cut. You know, they make less money off of it since they have to sell it. You know, and there's the markup for the stores. They want you to sign a petition. I don't think a petition is necessarily going to work. Contact YouTubers. But this was sort of like this idea that we need to do something about it. I don't know if anything's going to be done about it, unfortunately. But there was people arguing, and unfortunately, you know, the Sony shills decided to come out in force. This is Fighting Cowboy. He's got over 1 million subs. I think it's almost like 2 million subs on YouTube. And it's also important to, I guess I don't know what Screenwave Media is. I don't know if he works for them, but actually, let's see, let me take a look at that. But he definitely benefits from he makes review content, not review content, but like guide content. And basically, he benefits greatly from getting early access of the game. He has a review copy, so he gets there's a lot of benefits. So he can make a bunch of guides ahead of time. He doesn't have to worry about immediately getting the game and then start making content from there. He gets a head start above anybody else, or you know, the regular plebs that would possibly just want to, you know, grow their channel. I have to compete with a guy that's already had the game for weeks and already has a bunch of content ready to go day one on its release. The second the embargo stops. So this is what he's saying. It's wild to me that despite good reviews, despite this game being genuinely fun to play, gooners just can't take the W and are having a meltdown over a small piece of lace. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. This is kind of the attack. Oh, it's just a small piece of clothing. Why are you getting mad about it, guys? And then it's Mighty Keef. This is, again, Fighting Cowboy. Now we have direct confirmation that it was a redesign. Watch the narrative shift from Sony forced him to say that. People love to shout about respecting the dev vision until it isn't something you personally agree with. And then, of course, Mighty Keef back. Now I'm seeing that Sony didn't even change the Tiggled Yetis. It was just the creator having a redesign. Nobody waits for info to they're just reactive. Now, anyone with 2 brain cells can tell that this was not what the developer wanted to wanted to do. I mean, we can look. Oh, let me add in Gaijin Hunter, a guy that makes a lot of Monster Hunter content. Again, has a lot of subs. I made a graphic to help you understand the Stellar Blade X bullshit. It's really dumb. Instead of celebrating a strong and attractive Korean cast and a well-made, stunning action game, this guy is such a fucking wuss. I like his Monster Hunter guides, but everything about him is just so wimpy. It's like you can't just like I made a graphic. Oh, the really stunning, strong, and attractive Korean cast. He's got him like mention. Oh, it's diverse. It's just reeks of the fact that he hates conflict. He is such a wimp. He likes talking about him and his daughter a lot. You know, like, oh, I'm a dad. I see the notices a lot of people. Oh, look, I'm playing with my daughter. I'm a dad, guys. I'm a good guy. Everything about it is pointing this out. Imagine not being happy with its designs, raging despite the game being really well made and fun. They previously had some boo window and higher cut bottoms. They changed it. Must have been Sony's centered out misadvertising. Let's petition and harass the devs. Arg. People like this are the problem. Yeah. People like this are the problem, guys. It's people that get mad. Have any sort of expectations on the devs. If you don't accept every little thing, you're the problem. So this is people coming out, and then also a cool thing about the internet is that people with the most specific tastes will find each other and feel empowered by a sense of community, belonging, and collective action. For instance, this Kate Bush is also a loser. For instance, men in their 40s who wank themselves while playing video. Apparently, Danny O'Dwyer here likes to think about men wanking themselves. This is sort of like, again, the usual tactics. Oh, you're a gooner, coomer. Whoa, you just porn addict. That usual stuff. But let's look at this. Look at this video here. I mean, this is the sort of animations that they added to the game. Tell me here that they wanted to add. Which version of these outfits do you think they wanted to add to the game? The dev wanted to add to the game. Was it the one on the right or the one on the left or the one on the right? Because personally, I mean, this idea that they didn't want to they didn't want to censor it. It's the dev's vision, like fighting cowboy. It's again totally shilling for Sony here. I cannot, and the fact that he's part of like Screen Made Media, our YouTube network. What is Screen Made Media? Helps gamers and animators succeed. So he's part of a network. So he's working for a company. I don't know who they work for, but he's part of a group. So group's helping him out. All of it reeks of shilling to me. I mean, one, he definitely benefits from getting review copies. I'm sure Screen Made Media makes sure that he gets review copies. So he wants to say respect the dev's vision. But nobody with half a brain thinks that this is what the devs wanted to do. I mean, one, the original outfits are on the physical disc. So when the game went gold, they put this on the actual disc itself. Costs a lot of money to do so. Two, I mean, if we look at the censored versions, they're clearly lazy. It's just like a piece of cloth, little pieces of lace added onto it afterwards. It's not like they disliked the design of it and dramatically changed it. They just had to put a few things added to it. So that doesn't tell me that they wanted to add this stuff. It's like when they have to add like spats instead of panties to some of these like Grand Blue Fantasy or something like that. It's clearly not something they want to do. They just did the very least possible to make it acceptable. And if you look at the general style of the game and what it was supposed to be, you can clearly tell which version they wanted to show. It's the one on the disc, not the one they patched out. So it's a kind of insulting to his own fans to say that, where is he? Insulting to his own fans to say, yeah, this is the Dev's vision. Totally the Dev vision, finding Cowboy. We believe it. We definitely believe it. Yeah, this isn't respect. We know what the Dev's vision is. Like, apparently works for a company too. So I think he knows. And that's the thing that really annoys me. He knows what's actually going on, but he's totally willing to push this lie out just because it's good for him. Yeah, he wants to make sure things don't get out of hand. He doesn't want to make any sort of stand that might be unpopular with the people he works for and might endanger his own. Well, I mean, I can understand. Hey, look out for yourself. But this is ridiculous. Definitely a shill. Let's. Oh, this is just like this. Look at the physics on this. Yeah, they definitely wanted to cover that up. And it's so weird because like some of the stuff is pretty I mean, it shows a lot here. Like, why are certain things covered up and certain things aren't? To me, it doesn't make sense. It's so weird how it was censored. And this is Permaband at Gimme Bandhammer kind of talking about if you think Sony Formula is just a meme, here's some food for thought. Sony first Japanese dev developing a Japanese game to report to Sony only in English, forced them to adhere only to Western ESRB standards and not Zero. Sony Formula, a turncoat of a Japanese company to a T. This is where they talk about, like, right now, this is, I guess, visual novel Sovereigno Trinity coming to PlayStation, hindered by recent Sony regulations. And this is light represented right now. Sony seems to be moving towards just allowing ports of ages 18 and up titles worldwide. And this game is ages 18 and up, so it's being subjected to a very strict inspection. We're getting all these questions. And, like, please write everything in English, which is very odd because it's a Japanese company. So we're in the middle of answering these now, and we're not sure if we'll get approval or not. It's terrible. But in any case, the development is done. So internally, it's complete, but there are things we can't do without connecting to Sony's servers, like trophies, blah, blah, blah. And we have a guy who's in charge of translating everything into English and sending it to Sony, but it's like, don't you guys understand Japanese? At present, we're thinking we can release this game next year. And then this is from the thing. All communications positioned between the game companies and Sony are now filtered through their California brands in English, not just the censorship. Any complaints about the censorship now have to go through the team performing the censorship. Sony has ended the policy allowing publishers to use local ratings, but instead using the full Western standard. In other words, please, instead of allowing Japanese published games to use in Japanese and using the Sarah rating, all games on PlayStation must adhere to ESRB. So this is very unfortunate that, a lot of people like the Japanese games because it's Japanese standard, it's Japanese culture. It's something that you don't necessarily get in America. But unfortunately, Sony doing its best to make all of their games westernized. And that, again, this idea that the devs want to do this is completely idiotic. Anyone pushing it does not want to see the truth. So let's move on. Let me get a drink, and then we'll move on to this next story. Ooh, this is juicy. Let's see here. I gotta get that drink. You've probably never heard of this. No one has. This is Tales of Kenzaru. And this is Kerbrutus. He's the one that developed the list. Sweet Baby Ink Detected. Sup, guys? I just wanted to remind you that Zhao Zhu is gonna launch today. This is a game on Sweet Baby Inc. Detected Courier page, and yeah, it's connected to Sweet Baby Inc. Remember, vote with your wallet. Filipino working at hello, sir. I abandoned cleaning the men's room to catch this. Well, who wants to clean the men's room? It's very important that you that you watch this. So remember to vote with your wallet. People got super mad about this. And this kind of, let's see, let me show you. This is the fuzzy kind of sums up what people got upset about. This is the wrong game to boycott. It's a brand new IP made by a very sincere creator. Whether you're interested in his vision or not is besides the point, but there needs to be room for folks to make the sort of game they want to make regardless of content. Also, it's a good game with an excellent movement and feel. So people are very upset because it's a black guy. And then here's Mighty Keef again, using words you don't know the meaning of to push a narrative you're not familiar with. Actual brain rot. Mighty Keef, of course, going out to defend it. Let's go into it. Sean Chiplock, he does the voice of a lot of furry characters. I think he does Valko in English. Absolutely unfucking believable to me how openly racist and brainless so many comments are. Besides a sewage waste of social tact on this site has become, thanks to new management, the confident mask-off frequency of the post-Trump era is both parts unwelcoming and horrifying. I hope they notice this, Sean. I hope they notice this. Your masters in the industry notice you doing your part to appease, to fight the Trumpers. There's Kate Bush's husband, Gamergates. Yeah, let's go after the game that has a black creative lead and was created to process the grief associated with the death of his father. Fucking ghouls. Yeah, sounds like a really fun premise for a game. Game based off your grieving the death of your father. Grieving the death of your father. Really just says fun to me. Fun platformer. We got Mighty Keef. At no point did I say even support Sweet Baby Inc. I said using the term DEI for the game made by Black Person about because it makes no sense. I also never said critics were racist. Nothing you said was correct. I taught beefing with Grums. These are the type of people who use the word DEI as a scapegoat to mask their racism. For this individual, he didn't even use the mask. So it says, and then this is just sort of bad comedy. Kind of saying, I don't know if I can zoom, maybe I can't zoom in on this. But he's basically saying, just say you don't like it that has a black lead and save a lot of the fake concern trolling. And this is a typical SJW. Just say you hate black people because you don't want to support a game that involves Sweet Baby Inc. The point of the entire curator link was that if you hire Sweet Baby Incorporated, we don't want your game. It's probably going to be a bad game. Anyway, because who would hire these people if you weren't making leftist garbage? Why would it? Because they're all, yeah, that's a good question. Like, why would a game made by a black person about a black character need to consult with Sweet Baby Inc. Incorporated? Great question. Because they're all friends, it turns out. But we'll get to that. And then this Frank Zurich, damn right, I don't need a courier list. It has a female or black protagonist. I'm not playing it, period. And you only have yourselves to blame. Is this racist, or is it just pattern recognition at this point? As I mean, look, if you look at this game, we'll get into like how I feel about the game. I haven't played it, but the general appearance of it, and Mighty Keep again, black man made a black themed game with his Kenyan culture, and people in the comments saying DEI. This is what I mean when I say people just say shit. This poor Mighty Keef, I don't think he quite understands what DEI really means. Maybe he thinks it's like something like a department in a company, or just like ESG score. You got to have that DEI type of thing. But I mean, let's take a look at. Let's see, I got a thing here. So this is where is it? So this was given a spot, like a 3-minute spot at the Video Game Awards. Small indie, they want to say like, oh, it's a small indie company. it's a small indie company, guys, with the black lead. You know, like it's a real. They want to sell it like it's a real underdog story. It's just a small upcoming studio. Why are you bashing on it? This guy is the person that made it, headed it. I think he voice acts in it. It kind of also really shows how much this sort of like video game crowd wants to be attached to Hollywood, because he used to be a Hollywood, or he's done work for movies. He's acted in movies, so he's like releasing the game. He's like practically crying, talking about his dead dad. A lot of show him my game. It's Zao. Here it is. So this hey, nice blanket. Is this the new diverse Linus? I guess so. I do like when they gotta come out, they gotta like really they really gotta lean in that whole Africa thing. It's like you may not remember this, Ryan, but there was this point where after, I think it was after the George Floyd, it's senators kneeling with like sort of like African colors. Let's see, senators. Let me see if we can find the picture. Here we go. You really gotta lean into it, as you can see here. Oh, come on, get lost, New Yorker. Ah, you bastard. Let's see, open image, a new tab. Here we go. You gotta lean into it when you want to represent. Reminds me of this, but this whole thing had the weight of EA behind it. This whole it's just a small indie company. As you can see here, this is a master TDS again, doing good work. Very blatant botting going on here. Comments on the post by EA. Bots promoting Tales of Khansaria, an SBI influence game. More to come. And you can see, looks like my wallet is about to take another hit with this game. But who needs savings when you have Tales of Khansaria Zao to play? Oh, I love these bot comments. They're just the funniest thing in the world. I'm convinced that Tales of Khansaria Zao. They have to say the entire name. They have to spell out the entire freaking name. Looks like this one on the top left. Looks like my social life is officially over. I'll be too busy playing Tales of Khansaria Zao. Gamer girl, new obsession, goodbye world. Oh, these are the best. I love bot comments. Thank you, Master TDS, for this. Looks like trading my real life for the virtual world of Khansaria Zao. Who needs responsibilities anyway? Oh, it's so good. This is the Park Place. I only included this because I think it's dumb to sort of Sweet Baby Inc. boycott crushes Tales of Khansaria Zao as the game's total concurrent players peak at 287. I honestly think the Sweet Baby Inc. detected stuff gave it more publicity than it actually prevented people from buying it. I gotta be honest, because I didn't know about the game, and nobody seemed to be talking about the game, despite EA's clear shilling of the game. I mean, you could kind of see. I mean, we gotta see how it's doing. It peaks at 287. There's a lot of people after under this review saying like, "Oh, dude, I'm just gonna buy I'm getting 5 copies now. Thanks for making me support the devs." Yeah, sure. You really went out and supported the devs. Hey, how's it going, Deborah? Look at this. Yeah, huge support right here. 114 players playing right now. 287 peak. Owner estimations 4.7K for this small indie game that's published on Electronic Arts main page. I see. Let me go. This is the problem I have with these games. My baba. Kinzera. I need to. This is the thing. I need to. My father died, and I must resurrect him. I'm sad, so I must resurrect him. It's not like I was killed by a rival tribe, and now I need to go and kill my enemies and resurrect my father. It's he's just sad that his dad's gone, and I assume at some point during his journey he realizes that he has to accept death and let go of it. I don't think he explains the mass system. It's so funny. Here he goes. First met at the Game Awards. Game for my old man. They're using like the dead dad to oh guys, it's a feel good story. I guess not a feel good story, but I made it for my dad, my dead dad. Don't you want to buy it? Oh, this is so it's so funny to watch these guys talk about this game. It's like paid shills. Look at the fake acting in this. Just celebrate the ones we love. This is what I like about it. What's celebrating the ones I love. Oh, hell yes. 100%, bruh. Lands of Kinzero. Ooh. It looks like a decent looking game, but it's not really that unique. Vibrant voices. Enchanting musical school. Whoa, it's got black ladies and black men. Yeah, this is definitely not DEI. I can't see anything DEI about this. Woo! Can we see, please? See something different? We mean a bunch of black people. Embrace the dance. Sow. Whoa. Look at this. A Metroidvania with gorgeous environments and a heartbreaking exploration of grief. I'm ready. Yeah, that's exactly what I want out of a game is a heartbreaking exploration of grief. It's the sort of video games as art. It's got to be powerful and emotional and really I can't say the word I want to say, but okay, Lion King cast. The Lion King cast, yeah. This is sponsored by EA. I love this Luke Steffens. He makes a point to say like I'm not I'm even though it's sponsored by EA, I got in my contract that I can be totally objective about this. Then look at the conclusion he comes to. Look, he's got a lot of runway left. Watch him say absolutely nothing. It's a game about a story. This kind of sums up what I think's wrong with Tales. Even looking at some of the gameplay videos, there was way too much talking. This is supposed to be like a platformer, Metroidvania style platformer. Dialogue nonstop. Oh yes, the tale of loss. Overcome. Keep you compelled. Yes, I would definitely be compelled by tales of loss and grief in my video game. Ah, it's not just a platformer. Why would it just be a video game? It's got to be a story. He tries so not to say black. Like, I can't say black. I can't say black. It's a new IP. You're probably familiar with the creator. That I'd like to support. Fair point. Wow, he really didn't pull punches in that review. at all. Oh, it was a good thing he got that contract saying that he could say bad things if he wanted to. They can't influence him. He really laid down the hammer there. Literally said nothing. I like how the original person like, let's see, you've trained your eyes to be critical, Luke. These sponsors ain't gonna work. Less than 3. Of course, has millions worth of engagement, but less players than that are ants in an anthill. Ugh. Even his own people, even the people that watch his stuff didn't like it. It's a sound off, or you can't play it because of copyright. Was my sound not working? Sound off of what? What? That is weird. Oh, shit. You're right. Ah, damn it. I think it's... that was my... Nah, that's OBS. My device wasn't picking it up. I didn't realize it. Yeah.
Supporting a brand new studio
There we go.
and a group of very passionate.
Ah, that sucks.
Horrible. But just like here, I mean, you can see already we've explored all this stuff. Like
here's him talking about it.
I don't know how long the game is, but it seems like there's a lot here. And honestly, I'm having a good time. I'm interested in how they keep up enemy variety, encounter variety, boss fights, and things like that. I think they've got a lot of runway left with it. But
that's so annoying. So you had no sound on any of the videos. Well, I guess the first one wasn't a problem. Oh,
what's going to keep you compelled and keep you going through the course of this game? I mean, it's not just a platformer. It's trying to do a lot more on top of that. And I think that that's what separates it from the rest. Not to mention that it's a new IP from a brand new studio from an artist that you probably are familiar
with. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, it really annoys me. Here's the reviews. I'm not going to go over it again. It's just going to bother me. But sorry about that. The reviews kind of go over it. It's got some good reviews, some bad, but these kind of tells you when making a 2D platformer, you need to make sure that you have controls of your game are extra tight. The game does not do that. Actions are slow, sometimes unresponsive. Your character is very floaty. Will frequently continue to move in the air when you're trying to change direction. Combat is a mess at times. I couldn't see my character because of the positioning of the camera and all the flashy colors that were present. Also, the hitboxes for terrain were incredibly frustrating, as a lot of the time, it looked like you miss spikes or lava just for your character to die instantly. One hit insta-kill spikes would have a larger hitbox that the graphic shows them. On Mission in Act 2, the hitbox for the spikes were taller than the platform you stand on. Even so, if you land above the spikes, you'll instantly die. So a lot of, like, this is what a lot of people say. Great graphics, great voice acting. The story is fairly lame. The main character is equally tame. There's an absence of growth in terms of the game's mechanics. Combat's clunky. Very, very pretty game, but about as deep as it gets. And so it seems very much that it focused on the story itself, telling the sort of tale of grief going on there, but Tales of Knazeria, people not responding to that sort of tale of grief. As Zao getting very little players. Hollow Knight, a game that's actually Metroidvania, actually well done, has insane amounts of support. But this is the issue with games. This is like people, we need black games with black creators, but then you specifically get rid of gameplay to make sure the representation is like full on in force. You just can't make a game that's just has a black character but isn't. That's the thing, is every time they have to have a black character, they gotta like go all out. Like you gotta have the sort of gotta have the scarf on to make sure people know that what it is. Full on representation. It can't, and a lot of people just don't connect with it. Like, who wants to play a platformer about the loss of your dad? It's just not going to have mass appeal. You just go down super niche, and then people, it's got to be racism, or it's got to be Sweet Baby Incorporated. Where's the Park Place article here that we found? It's got to be Sweet Baby Incorporated that crushed this game. I can't find it now. Baby Inc. crushes with their boycott. They got to have that. Like, nah, I think the game's just super niche, and people don't want to play a platformer that focuses specifically on some sort of African story. It's not even cool. It's like, oh, shit, there's another thing that I wanted to show you. Where is it?
Kalunga could have been.
Good man.
Here,
I hope you like it.
I love it.
No, this was... I can't find that one. It's just talking about, oh, it's about love and noble intentions. And it's just, what the hell? People want to like, kill stuff. They want to fight stuff. I want to bring out love, noble intentions, healers. We are healers in a world beyond healing. It's, the whole way the thing's presented is just lame. Well, let's move on from Zao and going. I've never played Escape from Tarkov here, but the community exploded as I rate Escape from Tarkov players' nuke community Discord over new PvE mode. Escape from Tarkov players are irate with the developer Battlestate Games after it announced the release of a new edition with a new mode and a $250 price tag, as they believe they should get it for free for purchasing the Season Pass. Players who purchased the previous Edge of Darkness edition were promised future DLC content as part of paying for the Season Pass. The community thinks the new Unheard edition, which comes with a heavy price tag, what they believe is pay-to-win game content, and a new PvE mode falls under DLC. After the announcement, Escape from Tarkov players invaded Battlestate Games community Discord with bots spamming the same message over and over again. And this is some players since 2018. Players have supported the developer by purchasing the highest edition of the game. For 8 years, we've recommended this game to friends, bringing more and more players to the community. And what's the developer's response? They blow us off, refuse to comment, encourage those who have lost all respect for themselves, and continue to pour money in. I personally had high hopes for Tarkov. Other person saying, in my eyes, it was a high quality, most ambitious project on the market. This is unacceptable. This is selfish. This is disrespectful. You've disgraced yourselves completely. You've lost loyal players. The people are really mad. It's disgusting. Everyone who feels the same way, don't be silent. Spam, make memes. So people are really mad. Even the guys on Reddit are getting upset. I'm trying to figure out like exactly what they're mad about. So they've sold a $250 edition of the game. So they've already sold the $250 edition of a game. Promise all future DLC included. A few months have passed, and now they're selling a $250 edition of the game with a major PvE mode and pay-to-win content. Sorry, this isn't DLC. It's a feature which isn't DLC. So this is what people are getting mad about. So apparently they sold a $150 edition, which was promised future DLC. A few months passed, and they have a $250 edition, which apparently the new mode they added isn't considered DLC. So now people are getting super pissed at the people that made the game. $250 is a lot for an edition. It's branded as a scam by players. This PvE edition it's still in early access. I guess Escape from Tarkov is still early access. That involves realistic customization. And then there's some issues with it, even with the Reddit itself. And then Escape from Tarkov, this is their official statement. Let me clarify the situation. A little more detail regarding the owners of the EOD edition. I guess this is the $150 version of the game. And access to cooperative mode and other issues. First of all, PvE game mode, this is not DLC. DLC, in our understanding, is the major additions of the game, including various functionality and content that are released after the official release of the game. So this is still in DLC. This is still in early access. As themed DLC packs, Scav Life DLC, for example, which will not add a lot of new mechanics and content for the Scav gameplay and leveling. Secondly, this specific functionality of PvE mode is necessarily located on an entirely separate network infrastructure, because essentially you play on our servers only in closed mode. At this stage, It is not possible to launch all players who are EOD holders. Right now, we simply do not have the required amount of resources for this. We observe your dissatisfaction and decide the functionality will be available free for all the owners of the EOD version at the release of the game. And people are saying, like, release of the game, that could be years from now. How long are you going to be in early access? Which is a fair point. A lot of these early access games stay early access for seemingly ever. When the server infrastructure will be improved to the required capacity. Now we are opportunity to test the mode by purchasing Unheard of Edition games. Versions, we also decided to give a 50% discount when upgrading to the Unheard version from the EOD. So essentially they're saying, got 0 upvotes. Even the mods are against them. So essentially saying like, hey, we need more money for this PvE edition. That's why if you bought that $158 edition, we can't give it to you right now. But hey, we'll give you half off. How about that? There'll also be a 7% discount on the purchase of early access to PvE. Guys, we need more money. Essentially, a Safe from Tarkos dev saying, guys, we need more money for this new edition, please. Even though you bought that 150, we're strapped for cash. So people are calling it a scam. Let's, we're going to move on from that. Let's go follow up some other stuff that happened we've been covering previously. Rocksteady Suicide Squad sinks to an all-time low player base, which doesn't bode well for the future of the game. So it's dropped to its new low is 118 players. They came out with the Joker, hoping that would revive it, but holy smokes. And people are pointing out that this game, the Marvel Avengers game, which is actually dead, is has higher peaks than this. 169. So at some point, even dead games are beating dead live service games are beating the Suicide Squad. It remains to be seen just how long it's going to last, but a complete failure. It is not. They are not turning it around, and it looks like this is definitely heading towards the dumpster bin. I love this picture that they decided to use too. Windows Central, or this just really shows off how well they're appealing. Who's their target audience right here with Harley Quinn? Ugly as hell. Holy smokes. And this is, we touched on this, Tomb Raider Edition remastered, removed these posters, and people are coming back and saying like, whoa, this was inadvertently removed. It was not censorship, and that in the next patch, they will bring back this game. Thank you for the Tomb Raider community for your continued feedback and support of Tomb Raider 1 to 3 Remastered. And recently released patch 2, we made several texture and graphical updates for the HD version. As part of these updates, the posters in the Sleeping with the Fishes were inadvertently removed in the HD version of the game. This has been resolved, and these textures will be restored in patch 3. So coming back. This was just an error. It's hard to say if it was just an error, but they're at least bringing them back. So good for them. Tomb Raider fans definitely happy that that's back. And you know what? I think let's do it. I was gonna do like I wanted to do some stuff where I do things unrelated to video games more towards the end. Though I'm already reached 10. But let's just take a look at this. This annoyed me greatly. So this is a hot take, Spy X Family hot take by this guy.
And the fact that, as I've ranted many times before, Yor is just the most like bland, boring character of all time that does nothing.
But it doesn't matter because she's hot.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter
She pops
because
off in
she's
season 2. She does.
Oh, great! She gets one pop off. Get back to the kitchen now. Yor. Sorry, that's what it feels like watching the show. It's like you're gonna be a mum now. Fuck off. Oh, remember when you're like the world's best assassin? Forget it. Sandwiches need to be made.
Yeah.
Awful.
Show me more of your tits.
I don't like
That's
this.
my favorite.
Oh my gosh, Yor is put in a traditional female role. in the game in a anime called Spy X Family. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. What a loser. Holy smokes. And I honestly hate this. This is like the anime fan are such some of these anime fans are just such wusses. My God. It pissed me off because I think one of the things that makes Yor great is that she is traditionally feminine. And actually one of the reasons that people like these like anime is because it actually shows women in more a traditional role. But yeah, Yor's a bland character because I guess she doesn't do enough, empowered woman stuff. And then you have these guys that are in your community that you just need to get rid. Like, just get rid of these people. If they're in your community, I guarantee you this guy is going to ruin anime if he has a chance, especially with takes like these. Like, clearly, I hope she sees this, bro. Absolutely garbage take. Yor, as a great character. I just saw the movie the other day. It was cute. It doesn't do it. The Spy X Family Code White. Cute movie. Doesn't really do anything, as far as moving the plot forward. It's just like a, sort of spin-off movie, so it doesn't actually have any real character development, but it's a fun time. It's a fun movie. Season 2, I like season 2. It does focus more on Yor, and like she's kind of questioning whether or not she should stay as an assassin, or if she wants to fully embrace her role as a mother in this sort of pretend family. This is kind of like the ongoing theme of Spy X Family is like it's a pretend family, but to cover for their jobs. It's like one's a spy, one's an assassin. It's essentially just cover, but as they kind of grow attached to each other, like it's kind of wish for the lie to become reality, and whether or not it will sort of become reality, and then eventually you're hoping that in the end it all works out, and they do just become a normal family, living a happy life. But that's it for the podcast, guys. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate the support. Yeah, Borf. I love Bond. Thank you guys for joining me. We'll see you next time. Bye now. Oh yeah, and we'll post 0. I'll redirect you to that. I'm sure it's up. I don't know if I'll be on that. We'll see, but I'll link you there. We're gonna edit. Add the redirect. Bye, guys. Videos from our channel. Where's Jack? Did Jack enable redirects? Find out now. Jack, I cannot find your thing. Cannot find your video here. There we go. Found it. Maybe we've been shadow banned. You've been shadow banned, Jack. I couldn't find it right away. There we go. I got it. So see you guys later. Bye-bye now.